Carol Davis here with a spot of sunshine. You know I love doing this, spreading the smiles across the miles. So I put in the chat here that help me spread the smiles. Excuse me, across the miles. Every time you see anybody, even if you feel grumpy, and when you check out, or even if it's especially if the checkout clerk at the grocery store or the retail store is grumpy or makes a mistake or she smile, and that really turns people crazy, and it changes the world. No matter what, and maybe you have to point out the error of their ways. That's okay too. You can do it with love and compassion and a smile, and you can smile at them when you say thank you for your help, thank you. And no matter what, because maybe they're having a bad day, maybe their kid is sick at home, and they want to be with their kid, but they have to work so they can buy milk. I mean, it's a tough world. So let's change the world. But just a little thing, but there's so much that can be done. But this is just one little piece of what can be done. This is not all, of course. All I can do is smile. Smile. I can thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your smiles with the world. Thank you for sharing your smile with everyone who crosses your path. And thank you for telling your friends. Don't be embarrassed. Tell them about a spot of sunshine. Tell them about my little thing on YouTube. You can find them all on YouTube. It's a good reminder of how and why we smile. Hey, so I don't just blah, blah, blah. You know that, because who would watch that? Ick. I like to read a story. Now, this one is called Mrs. Libra and Zoe Zebra. Here's the deal on Zoe the zebra. Zoe was not happy with his stripes. Now, how many of us are not happy with our stripes? Human beings, a teacher of mine once told me, human beings are the only species that God created that are dissatisfied with his handiwork. Imagine that. You don't see robins trying to be blue jays or horses trying to be giraffes. Only people do that. Well, we don't try to be giraffes, but we're always trying to get facelifts and doing things. Eye lifts, facelifts. We spend thousands of dollars to change. Now, lots of people out there arguing with me. No, I'm not changing what God created. I'm just enhancing. Whatever. I don't want to get into that. I don't know. Maybe I'd have a different idea if I had money. But today I want to just read Mrs. Libra and Zoe Zebra. Now, Zoe Zebra learned some good lessons. We're going to talk about that. So Mrs. Libra lived in a zoo with Zoe, her daughter. He was just over 2. And at just over 2, Zoe wanted more lines so she could change her facial designs. Don't you think that's funny? The zebra wanted more lines, and we're trying to disappear our lines. Whatever. She tried to move the stripes on her face, but when she was done, they were in the same place. How do I move my black stripes around? She wondered aloud as she sat on the ground. Then came the day when she heaved a big sigh and crawled under a fence, which she thought was quite high. Where are you going? Mrs. Libra called out. You're sure to get lost as you're roaming about. I'm looking for stripes to put on my face. I think they might be in some faraway place. She's thinking of all the kinds of stripes that she could put. She either wanted rid of them or she wanted to change them. See, there you go. Stripes, stripes, stripes. She's dreaming. Because I've looked in the bushes and I've looked all around and I haven't found even one stripe on the ground. I've also tried looking in beautiful trees, but all I found were some striped honeybees. So Mrs. Libra snuck out of the zoo to go with her daughter, who was just over 2. Her mom wasn't sure if black stripes could grow, but to tell you the truth, she really did not know. So they went into town and walked into a store, but the stripes they found were black stripes on the floor. Next, they went to a store that sold stringy black candy and were given this candy, which they thought was just dandy. But when she stuck the candy right next to her nose, it fell on the ground, landing near a red rose. When she saw a striped scarf she could put on her head, there you go, see? She thought that could fall off while I sleep in my bed. Next, they went to a store that sold all kinds of paint, but the smell of the paint almost made Zoe faint. So they left the paint store and sat under a tree, and dear Zoe looked at a stripe on her knee. She rubbed that black stripe, but it just stayed right there. And as hard as she rubbed, it would not disappear. If I can't change the stripes on my body or face, maybe, just maybe, they're in the right place. And as they sat together under a tree, the mom looked at Zoe and said with great glee, "The stripes that you have are in the right place, including the ones you have on your face. You need to be happy with the way that you look, and it's not what you see in some kind of a book." Since nothing else was left to do, Mrs. Lieber and Zoe returned to the zoo. Zoe had learned a great lesson that day, and she and her mom had gone on their way. Zoe had learned to be proud of her lines, which are only a small part of nature's designs. Isn't that wonderful? Let's just be happy with what we have. You know, no two people look alike. Have you noticed? Even identical twins don't really look alike. They do at a glance, but not for real. So instead of trying to save money, get money, steal money, whatever, to change our looks, to change what God gave us, let's just focus on acceptance, because that's where the joy is. The magic and the joy is in acceptance. Of course, there are many things happen to people and they have to have surgeries, but if you're just born and you have no real problems and you just don't like your looks, take another look. Say, okay, God, universe, whatever, this is who you made me. I'm going to do the best I can. I'm going to do the best I can. That's what I'm going to do today. Do I some days want to look like someone else? Of course. Do I want to be rid of my lines, the smooth thing? Of course. But why? Why do I get like that? Because why? I have some preconceived idea of how I'm supposed to look, or people will like me better if I don't. No. Some of my most favorite people and some of the most popular people I know have tons of lines, they have shaggy. It's not what's on our face, it's what's in our heart. It sets us apart and makes us who we are. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a beautiful day, or any kind of day you want to have. And remember to spread the smiles across the miles. Yay! Bye. The end.